everybody, welcome back. It's me. I'm using my beautiful sister again as my model, against her will, but she's here and I bribed her to use her. So I'm going to show you guys a design that I offered to some of my teen girls because they're the ones who are the hardest to please. So hopefully you can follow along and you like what you see. So I'm going to start off with my favorite brush, the chisel brush. This is my favorite brush, and I've said it time and time again. So I'm going to start off by applying white over the eye and over the muzzle area. So it's going to be kind of like a cheetah girl, I guess. Some sort of whatever you like. So I'm going to start over the mouth, and I'm just going to add white over the mouth. You can breathe. So I'm just adding like a nice amount of white right over. It can go over the edge of the lips. Then I'm going to also add it to the eye. Close your eyes, please. So I'm going to cut through the eyebrow and just kind of bring it up into that hairline. I know how she loves when I do it in her hair, right? So I'm just kind of fanning it out. Now, that's the beauty of this brush, is that you really can cover a nice big area, especially over the eye, really nice and easy. So I'm going to start in the corner of the eye, just kind of make a clean swipe over it. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a minute. Again, I'm going to just bring it out. And you notice I use the tip of my brush to just kind of bring that line down. Ooh, sexy. So now I'm going to use my sponge. I use a half wedge sponge cut in half. I like this edge because you can do blending with it. Now I dip my sponge in water, and what you're going to want to do is make sure that when you squeeze it, it's not dripping, but it's nice and damp. Because if it's dripping wet, what's going to happen is it's going to run all over the design. So I'm going to load my sponge by rubbing my paint and my sponge around on the paint, so that I get a generous amount, and you want it covered about halfway. That means you have a good loaded sponge, okay? Halfway. Then I'm going to double load it by just rubbing it on the yellow, so that you're going to get a double loaded sponge. Now I learned this technique from Jenny, and I've seen several awesome, amazing artists use it. So I'm going to share it with you guys. So now I know it's hard with the lighting, but I do have two colors here, especially a nice blend of orange and yellow. So now what I'm going to do is just start right on top of this white area and just bring it up, and I'm going to press in the color. This is also known as stippling. In the corner of the eye, stipple in more color, just bringing it up and lightly just drag, blending it down. And I'm going to go to the corner of the eye, just lightly drag, blend it, stipple it in. So I was here, bringing it up. Now I'm going to repeat that step on the other side, but I'm going to start a little bit lower. So again, I'm going to load my sponge, add a little bit of a double load to it, and I'm turn your head a little. So I'm going to start at the corner of the eye, drag that line out, then just drag it down so that I get that blend. I'm going to get closer to the eye. That way you have just kind of like a vanishing line, okay? For the last step, I'm going to add just a little bit of a hot pink to jazz this design up, and I'm going to sponge it directly on top of the orange to just kind of bring some extra color in there, especially if they're at a nighttime event. You want to just kind of give it that extra punch, and this is an optional. So turn this way. Sorry. I'm just dabbing it right on there, stippling it in right there, just so that you get that nice color contrast. And I might even go directly on the eyelid with it. Just to kind of have some fun. Okay. Now now I'm going to use my black. I'm going to come in with my black and add some highlights, add my cheetah markings, and really have fun with this design. Because that's what face painting is about, having fun, right? Okay, so close your eyes. I'm going to start off in the corner of the eye. I'm going to lay my brush down so that I get kind of like this nice squiggle right in the corner. Then, turn a little bit more to me, close your eyes. I'm going to trace the eye and frame it with the black. Because black does something to the eye. It just really makes it much more dramatic. You can open. Now when the paint is still wet and they open your eye, you're going to get, close your eye, that double line. Now because her eye sockets are deeper, it's not really a huge deal. On some kids you can really tell, but for this, it's not even a problem. Okay, you can open. Okay, now what I'm going to do is create my cheetah markings heading into the eye on a slant. So what I'm going to do is start off straight, lay my brush down, give it a wiggle, and pick up. Okay? I believe that on my video corner I still have how to do animal markings, so if you're having trouble with these cheetah markings, refer to that video. And I'm going to do them with different sizes. So lay my brush down, wiggle up. I'm just adding a few of them inside of there. And I'm just going to add a few dots just in between. Just kind of to dress up these markings. And I'm going to do the same down here. I'm actually going to bring these cheetah markings up into the eye now. So I'm going to start on the corner of the cheek, lay my brush down, pick it up. And then I'm going to add a few more dots in there too. Of just random sizes. And you can actually bring these dots all the way up into that design up there. Next, I'm going to create the muzzle area and the nose. So I'm going to create the nose by just laying my brush down and bringing it in. Just to connect them. I don't want the nose too large. I start right underneath the nose and bring this line down. You want it as thin as possible. Now I'm going to turn a little bit this way. I'm going to start in the corner of the lip, lay my brush down and bring it out. And now I'm going to lay my brush down and gently pick up so that I get a gradient, like a line that's going to go from thick to thin. Now you can have a lot of fun going inside of the muzzle with different lines, with different dots. You're more than welcome to start big, go a little bit smaller, add a little bit of a whisker in there. A great video on how to do really cool muzzles and a bunch of tiger faces is Mark Reed's new DVD. It's so good. So again, I'm going to start at the corner of the mouth, bring it up, thick to thin as you're coming up. You can add your dots in here of different sizes. And to really have fun with it, you can add just a little teeth coming out of the corner, right out of the tip of the mouth. You don't want it to be, you don't want the teeth to be too big, especially in a girl.